If you are looking into buying cheap and safe FIFA coins, look no further than footcoinshop.net. They have the fastest service, an incredible loyalty reward system, and the best prices around. Use my creator code Inception when you sign up for your account and get a 5% discount with your order. Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the glitches and bugs that need to be fixed in this game. A lot of this is probably not going to be like gameplay stuff. A lot of it's going to be like menu stuff, not being able to do things, like stuff like that for the most part. So if there are some clips here that have already been fixed, then obviously you guys can ignore it. But a lot of these have not been fixed because I know that they've been in the game for such a long time, okay? So the first one that we're going to talk about, and this is just from me being in the menus normally, right, is the resetting glitch when it comes to your settings. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about you going into your settings like this, going into your settings here, game settings, and you have all your little presets here, competitive, shot assistance, all that kind of stuff, and that being reset. One of the main ways of that being reset is if I were to do this. If I go here to the controller and I turn off the controller, it's going to reset my settings. This doesn't happen for everybody, but it happens to a few people. Not resets to the default settings. We're talking about like individual things being changed, right? So in order for me to be hanging out in the menus while just chilling, right? I have to go down here. I have to pick up my wire. I gotta plug it into the controller, right? And I gotta make sure that it's charging. And you can see at the bottom that it's actually charging. And I gotta leave it there. There's no situation where I can turn off my controller, because if I turn off my controller, my settings will reset. It will even reset the settings in the actual game. You know how you have like the trainer on for certain things? Like if you tap L1 and you flick your right stick, he'll move into a certain direction. You could see the actual arrow to make sure that you could see that he's actually doing it. Stuff like that. It's going to be reset, right? So you can't turn off your controller for that. This problem has been in the game for, I think, 2 years now, to be honest. It was a huge problem last year. They said, oh, we did a little fix for it. And then this year, same exact thing. So you guys can see I have on the screen right now Stoichkov. I'm trying to buy him early to do the review early because he was leaked early. So I kind of just wanted to do the card early so that if something comes out at 1 o'clock, I can go enjoy my life. You know what I'm saying? Go enjoy my life. You guys know the vibes over here. Okay, so can I just show the control? Can I show the controller on my screen? Let's see if I can here. Let's connect this bad boy here. We'll do that. Is it connected to the PC? Yes, it is. Okay. Let's put the controller on the screen here. PS4 controller. It's not a PS4 controller, but you guys get the idea, right? Okay. Right stick. Press X. Press circle. Press R1, L1. Oh, it's glitched. So you can see the top left corner there. Transfers, stadium, staff, right? But I can't select any of those things, right? Nothing. And there he goes, bot. Right? Maybe you guys know that if there's a solution to this, like, what do I do? What do I do? You know what I'm saying? And then the only logical explanation here is to close the game, right? And then reopen it, because God forbid I try to buy stuff off of the market without it freezing. Going to be a few examples here from the viewers as well. This guy says, can you talk about the transfer bug that is still ongoing since the start of the game? I can't redeem my Alewa after I won him from a bid. This guy also has a crying emoji showing some players that he won, and I guess he can't use afterwards. Not 100% sure, but seems to be the case with a couple of these guys. So this guy's also mentioning that if you score a goal and you are co-op, you could see the goal score, but when you are not co-op, you can't see the goal score because it only works for certain camera angles, but not all. So we're going to score here, skip, and you could see that the player is over here on the bottom. But now, I make sure it's 20. I used to use this camera back in the day. It used to be like really fun, to be honest, but definitely got to see the whole pitch nowadays. Okay, so keen finesse, skip the celebration. And he's right. You actually don't see the card at the bottom for the camera angle. Interesting. So we have another example here of the invisible players from Bateson's clip. I'm not sure if this one's been fixed yet for the goalkeepers, but this goes for both the goalkeeper and the outfield player, right? So for this one here, we could probably skip it a little bit, can we? No, I don't think we can. Okay, so we'll just watch it out. Switches the player, and there's no goalkeeper. And you could still save it, right? Because you're just picking the direction. But yeah, that's broken. You can even see here just from like a regular clip, the player can be invisible. I've seen a clip from Krasi actually. I think it was like, it was Krasi or somebody where it was like Casemiro was on the guy's team, but you couldn't see Casemiro. I saw it on TikTok one of these days. But yeah, the invisible player glitch, definitely one of them. This is a picture of the scoreboard, but this is not like what I'm talking about. There's a scoreboard glitch where if you have two abbreviations, right, you have yours and you have your opponent's, there's sometimes moments where that black square just disappears and you can't see the score on one, or you can't see it on both. Sometimes it disappears entirely. It's like really weird, but most of the time it's usually just like one of them being off, like it just doesn't work, right? So that sometimes happens as well. Another example here of the invisible players, right? The goalkeeper gets a red card. We continue on. Red card for the goalkeeper. Nobody is in the net. And then he could just hold on to the ball, kick it, and he's basically invisible, right? The next one is going to be the red card situation. So the red card situation, EA definitely needs to look into this because there's so many different areas where you get a red card and it should never ever be a red card. Now, don't get me wrong, there's so many examples that people show that are not very good ones, but this is a pretty good one, right? So you know, he's obviously just attacking normally here. This is a pretty bad clip to show because the quality is like not necessarily the greatest, but you could see the animation, right? The guy kind of just goes into him, right? Pushes him away. First of all, debatable whether the player should even fall because I don't even think the guy is pressing the tackle button, to be honest. Like, look at this. He's defending normally. It doesn't even look like there's a tackle animation, which, to be fair, whatever. Maybe his player is not necessarily the best defender in the world, but getting a red card for that is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it just doesn't make sense to get that. So yeah, as I was saying, like, that's just like one example, but there's so many different examples of you getting a red card where, dude, like a gust of wind and your player will get a red card. It's really weird. Like, I even got one the other day just doing a review for the 4411 for my Varane, and I didn't do a slide tackle, no tackle. I did a body to body in the side position, not even inside the 18-yard box, and he gets a red card. So yeah, they definitely have to look into those because those are super bugged. So this one's a pretty big one for the old gen guys, because this never happens on new gen, I don't think. I've never seen it happen to myself. But this is the penalty glitch that has been in the game for a while now. Basically what it is that when you get a penalty, you can't see the circle. There's nothing that you like, the thing that goes whoop, 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 you know, like those sound effects, it doesn't show up. So basically you have to get lucky if you hit it in the green if you're gonna score. Let's see if this guy actually hits it, because if he does, he's an absolute G. Of course not, because how can you see it, right? So yeah, that happens quite a bit on the old gen version as well. This one I don't have an example for, but someone liked it, so I haven't seen this one myself. If a player gets injured and the game pauses for you to make the sub, the option to sub gets stuck unless you resume and pause it again. It works then. So that's one as well, I guess. This guy actually has like a really good amount of listed ones here. So one of them is the advance button after the match is done won't work. You have to click on match facts rewards and then click again on advance for it to work. So basically when your game is done, you know how you want to press advance and it doesn't work. You have to go to the option just below advanced, which is your match awards usually, I'm pretty sure. Then you back out, then you go to advanced, and then it actually goes through. That usually happens for me a lot of the times in like squad battles and stuff, right? But it does happen sometimes in the online. He has a couple of good ones actually. When you adjust tactics from the companion app, the build-up play will be set to fast build-up automatically for all of the tactics. The companion app gets stuck randomly, only the iPad version works fine. When you press triangle from the objective screen and it takes you to squad battle screen and then consecutively to team selection screen, you cannot change anything as now L3 works for viewing the objectives. After completing some objectives, it shows new level reached, but when you visit the season progress, you are on the same level. So this guy actually listed a few good ones as well. Ooh, I just saw this one. This one's a good one too, because it actually happens a few times. If you take a free kick too fast, then the box in the top right corner will stay there until you get a new free kick or corner kick. It'll even be there in the next game if you haven't had a new free kick or corner. This was also a glitch in FIFA 23, so they clearly don't give, which is true, because this does actually happen. This one's a really good one because so many times you guys can even see here for the objectives. So if I go to objectives and it says 4, and I go to live, let's just say I were to go through all of them, right? So obviously no red dot here. We go over here, also no red dots. We go over here, no red dots, right? No red dots. And then we go to foundations, and then we obviously have no red dots as well. But if I back out, you can see at the top left corner that I still have objectives to redeem. So I think in the iPad version of the web app, because the iOS version for the web app is completely chalked, you could probably redeem it there, but in the game, like, I don't know which ones I'm supposed to redeem and which ones I'm supposed to get. So another one that people brought up to me, because I was watching his way stream. I watch this guy stream all the time because this guy's super entertaining. But I was in his stream and he was trying to find a game, and this German dude in his team didn't allow him to play the game, right? Because basically what happens with the evolutions for some of the cards, it happens to him, it happens to like Conor Gallagher as well, is that they will initially have playstyles on the card, but as you level them up, they will actually lose some of those playstyles, right? So they're glitched. You actually cannot play with them in game. So I'll show you guys the example here.
I was super excited to use my Trailblazer Interceptor Anton Stach in Weekend League, and then this happened. What is this, Di Maria? Okay, so 8 hours ago, that Di Maria would have been running freaking Christian McCaffrey.
Disconnected.
Do this. Let's try this one more time, bro. Wait. What's going on? Like, do I actually have to restart the, like, is it going to do it again? What's going on? I'm doing a CSI investigation right now. Maybe there is something to this. It's going to kick me again. This is going to work. Okay. Why is this happening? Someone is bugged for sure. Who's the imposter, man? Who's the
Look at what he does to his team.
imposter, dude? Who is it?
Look what he does to his team.
See what's up. Let's go into a...
Puts Varane there, just puts anybody just to see who it is.
I have an imposter in my team. Could it be Anton Stach that's not allowing me to play games online? How could it be Anton Stach?
I'm gonna break my monitor, I swear.
75k on an Evo and I can't use him. On his base card, he's got Power Shot, he's got Relentless, he's got Intercept, and he's got Aerial. When you Evo his card, they took away 2 of them. EA FIFA Direct, can I get some clarity? And I'm saying this like respectfully, but I just want to use a card that I spent 75k on. The online service does not recognize the card because his playstyles are missing. Try him off the bench. We're now gonna put him just there.
Nah, he's still gonna bug.
Please, EA.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically one as well. Evo's basically glitching out. You can't use them. Here's a description of one of the guys on Twitter mentioning it to me. Can't use my upgraded Evo in a game because some playstyles are missing and it kicks me out every game before it even started, right? Because he'll have certain playstyles at first, right? In this case, he has one. But then over here, you can see that he obviously has different ones, right? So this also kind of goes hand in hand with the red card where it's just not a foul and they give him a red card as well, which is absurd. So here's the situation about the controller thing, right? Like, even if you don't turn off your controller, sometimes it does it anyways. Like in last year's game, if I played on this account and I didn't turn off my controller, if I started up the game, it would still glitch and basically say, hey, are you new to the game? We got to do the whole introduction thing again. And then boom, your settings are basically reset. So it still happens, you know? This one is still crazy. I don't know why this is still a glitch, by the way. It's like, it's not even necessarily like just a penalty situation. Like if your opponent leaves, there's sometimes a glitch where you are playing against AI and you have to stay in the game. It's really stupid. And sometimes at the end of the game, you actually can't even advance and accept the game as a win because it doesn't work. There's actually been a moment in last year's game where I have literally played as my opponent against me. And I was scoring goals against myself because I didn't care. I was doing like an SPC review, right? So I wasn't playing foot champs or anything like that. But yeah, no, that's crazy for someone to be able to leave and it's glitched. Like you're literally still facing the AI, which again, this has been a yearly problem. This has not been fixed yet either. This one's obviously a really good one too. Using the Take Me There feature makes it where you can't change your squad because L3 is tied to 2 options. So that also happens too. This one's a really funny one because this guy thinks it's a squad battles glitch. Guys, let me tell you, man, I've been on these streets, bro. I've been on these streets, all right? Hey Inception, if you want to remove the squad battles glitch where you disconnect, try to connect via Wi-Fi rather than LAN, as it solved the issue for me. Mohammed, I appreciate the advice, brother, but let me tell you, it doesn't matter if it's squad battles or another game mode. Let me show you. So here's an example of me playing a Foot Champs game, right? Time wasting like an absolute rat at the end, because welcome to Foot Champs. I'm gonna mute this because I say some choice words, okay? Okay, so the game's done. And I'm spamming X, spamming A, like you would normally would, just to get it going, right? And you'll see this little menu pop up, and what it says in the menu is basically like we weren't able to register the final result, something like that, right? I'll show you guys a squad battles example. But this is Foot Champs, and once that little pop-up shows up, and I'm just spamming X just to keep it going, I've lost the game. So here's what happens, right? Leaving Ultimate Team, I have disconnected from the EA servers. No problem though, because I will go back into the game. Load up, and now I'm back in the game, and it seems that I have disconnected from it was me. I'm the one that disconnected, right? Go to the Foot Champs qualifications, and they gave me a loss, right? So that's from online. Let me show you guys the offline one. So this one here, I explain that squad battles is torture as it is. I actually paused it perfectly. I paused it perfectly. Look at that, dude. Call me Clickception. Anyways, the EA servers are unable to process your request at the current moment. Please try again later. That's the exact pop-up that showed up for that Foot Champs game as well. It's this one, right? If I look, I'm pressing it so quickly because I'm just trying to like get it going, you know? Boom, it's gone. But once I see that setting, GG's, I already lost the game. Done. So that's been glitched as well. I've already gotten a few losses in Foot Champs from that. I don't really care too much about the record because it is what it is. This one's a really big one too. I've actually noticed this one. The keeper dive delays on penalties. Even if you guess correctly and move early, the keeper won't respond. He won't respond. Not that he's not like guessing the correct area, because obviously if you go to the top right and you're going to the bottom right, you're probably not going to save it because it's just a safe animation thing that they've added into the game. But we're talking about like responsiveness. Like they just won't respond to it properly. This is what I mean when I tell you guys that the new gen version of the game is incredibly unpolished, because this happens very often where you do an animation with a tackle or something and it kind of just like phases right through, right? So you take a strike, it's going right through the defender's leg for that to go into the back of the net. Obviously shouldn't be happening if he obviously tackles correctly, but it does go into the back of the net regardless. Maros over here explains the take me there objective a little bit better. So when you press take me there in an objective, for example, a squad battles one, you can't change teams or formations, or in general press L3 because that just highlights the objective. So you have to back out, go to squad battles yourself, and then change something in your team, right? So that does happen a lot as well. That's what the earlier one was. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it from what I gathered so far. Like those are usually like the main ones. Like there's obviously a lot of glitches in this game. We might do like a part 2 video as well. I think it's very important to make these types of videos because here's what I noticed, right? The Trickster Plus situation in the game, the day before, they knew that it was a bug and they never disabled Trickster Plus in general. But then the next day, a few hours when we uploaded the Trickster Plus video, and I was literally like screaming at the camera, disable it before you know, so that you can fix it and then put it back into the game afterwards, then it was disabled. So maybe the L trigger guy, that's what we call him, right? Do you guys remember the video from the rant, how he mentioned that whoever made the L trigger thing to navigate through the menus of squad, transfers, all this stuff is an absolute monster. He deserves like 200k salary, whatever. That's the same guy, right? That's the exact same dude who probably watched the video and was like, hey guys, even though we knew about this yesterday and it was a full day afterwards, maybe we should just disable it like other games do when they have problems and then fix it and then put it back into the game, right? So it's important to make these types of videos. Hopefully the L Trigger guy is watching. We're going to call him L Trigger Larry. Mbabu Foot gave me that name. L Trigger Larry. Hopefully he watches the video and tells them about the glitches and the bugs, because dude, that controller thing resetting, just that alone is absolutely insane. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys. By the way, check out this glitch that Boris concedes. I want you just to notice one thing, okay? Because look at this gameplay, dude. It's so crazy how he actually does a slide tackle here himself to block the shooting angle, which was amazing. But then the game still screwed him over, okay? So he's attacking here. Makes the pass, small touch there. Great switch. you can clearly see him pressing R trigger, R1, and the square button to do the slide tackle, which, you know? And then, bang, bro. War a goal from EA, boys. War a goal.